collar, white collar, black professors, white scholars, politicians, Dalai Lamas. Everybody in the whole wide world need hope if I be honest. I'm in that number.
I'm clowning on reading over this article. Back in the day, Donald Trump was a player. He was a player, a billionaire playboy. He just wasn't Batman, but he was a Bruce Wayne. In New York City, Gotham, wealthy, women, money. A lot of people looked up to Donald Trump. Donald Trump had pretty much, except from the time that he crapped on the Central Park Five boys who are, people who I know and love here in New York City. Apart from that, Trump had a kind of rock star power toward him at one time. He was a rock star, man. Tell the truth, he was a rock star. It's starting to start falling until he started putting his mouth on Obama with the birtherism. But before that, between those times, he was a rock star. Movies, TVs, Trump Tower, Trump Hotel, Trump ties, Trump shirt. He began to become a bona fide celebrity. Trump Celebrity Rose, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent. Trump was embraced by all communities. He was looked up as a hero. When people thought success, they thought Trump. Even me in my business, and I deal with organizations and teams, we read the Trump Art of the Deal. We read Why We Want You to Become Rich by Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. Great book. During that time, Trump was a bona fide rock star. Until he put his mouth on Obama, star went down. People wasn't having that. You're not going to talk about Obama. So, me going to the article. So it's not surprising that Trump got with a porn star. You're at the time you're not bad looking. You got money. Money make a bad looking man look good. You just ask Jimmy Walker when he had money. Ask Shabba Ranks when he had money. Ask Mick Jagger. How in the world Mick Jagger looking like that get all the women? Ugh. So it's not shocking about that, and I pretty much believe that Trump probably have open relationships with his spouses back then. So I don't know. That's his personal life. When people money and they elite and Hollywood type, they have open relationships, and I don't know if that was a situation with Trump. But I'm reading the Washington Post article. It says the 7 most interesting parts of Stormy Daniels' lawsuit against Trump. Porn star Stormy Daniels. It's very tempting to go watch some of her movies, but I'm not going to do that. I want to see what we're talking about. I must do my research. Porn star Stormy Daniels is suing President Trump, arguing that her hush money arrangement to not talk about an alleged affair with him is null and void because Trump never signed it. How you sign an agreement without signing it? The lawsuit represents the latest development in an increasingly troubling situation for the White House. First, it was reported that Trump personal lawyer Michael Cohen paid Daniels $130,000. Then Cohen confirmed it in a carefully worded statement saying that the Trump organization and campaign weren't involved, but conspicuously did not rule out Trump involvement. Then this week, the Wall Street Journal reported that Cohen had complained in the past about not being able to reach Trump during the process and not being reimbursed. Why would he ask for a reimbursement? Because Trump gave him the money to give to her to kind of keep his hands clean. At least that is what it implies. Both suggested that Trump was indeed involved, that could open Trump up to legal jeopardy. Exactly how likely Daniel's lawsuit is to succeed is a major question. If she does prevail, it could free her up to talk about the alleged affair. Exactly how likely Daniel's lawsuit is to succeed is a major question. If she does prevail, it could free up to talk about the alleged affair. But if nothing else, the lawsuit itself serves as a confirmation of key details. The full lawsuit is a 28-page and include an alleged non-disclosure agreement. Below, I've isolated the key parts. Note the lawsuit refers to Daniels by real name. And I'll see if I can link this so you can take a look at it. Number 2, the defendant Donald Trump, a.k.a. David Dennison, pseudonym. That sounds like a porn name, David Dennison. Mr. Trump, an individual, is a resident of the District of Columbia, among other places. Number 18, by design of Mr. Cohen, the hush agreement used aliases to refer to Mrs. Clifford and Mr. Trump. Specifically, Mrs. Clifford was referred to by the alias Peggy Peterson, or PP. Maybe that's what they talking about, PP dossier. Mr. Trump, on the other hand, was referred to by the alias David Dennison, or DD. So he was trying to get some PP and he was trying to give her the DD. And the Carlos Danger saga all comes rushing back. Expect plenty of David Dennison jokes going forward. The alias were used in the non-disclosure agreement to protect the parties involved. The people to whom they refer were identified in another document attached to Daniels' lawsuit, although Dennison's real name is redacted in it. 9. Mrs. Clifford began an intimate relationship with Mr. Trump in the summer of 2006. I don't think he was married during that time. In Lake Tahoe, and continued her relationship with Mr. Trump well into the year 2007. This relationship includes, among other things, at least one meeting with Mr. Trump in a bungalow at the Beverly Hills Hotel located within Los Angeles County. I think he was married, and I think this was the time when he was taping The Apprentice. In some ways, this lawsuit seemed to be a way for Daniels to put her side of the story into the public record without directly telling it. Here she confirms details about the alleged affair and that she previously shared with In Touch magazine in 2011 interview that was published wasn't published until recently. 13. Within days of the publication of the Access Hollywood tape, several women came forward publicly to tell their personal story about their sexual encounters with Mr. Trump. 14. Around this time, Mrs. Clifford likewise sought to share details concerning her relationship and encounters with Mr. Trump with the various media outlets. This also confirms previously reported detail, but it's the first time Daniels have confirmed that she was shopping her story before the election. She has publicly been coyed about the whole thing, apparently because of the non-disclosure agreement. In other words, she couldn't yap because of the agreement, but I think they found a loophole. After discovering Mrs. Clifford's plan, Mr. Trump, with the assistance of his attorney, Mr. Cohen, aggressively sought to silence Mrs. Clifford as part of the effort to avoid her telling the truth, thus helping to ensure he won the presidential election. Mr. Cohen subsequently prepared a draft non-disclosure agreement and presented it to Mrs. Clifford and her attorney, the hush agreement. In other words, they were trying to shut up with this agreement. 2 points here. First, this is Daniels alleging that Trump was personally involved, something the White House and Cohen have declined to confirm or deny. Why don't you just deny it? If you didn't do it, just deny it. And second, she alleged that the effort was geared toward aiding Trump's election. That may seem like a giveaway because it happens just before Election Day. But as the Washington Post Philip Bump has reported, the payment is more legally problematic if it was clearly for this purpose. Exactly how Daniels knew Trump was involved is a big question, as is how she knows this was election related. Number 22, on about October the 28th, 2016, only days before the election, 2 of the parties signed the hush agreements, Mr. Clifford and Mr. Cohen, on behalf of EC. Mr. Trump, however, did not sign the agreement, thus rendering it legally null and void and of no consequences. On information and belief, despite having detailed knowledge of the hush agreement and its terms, including the proposed payment of the monies to Mrs. Clifford and the routing of these monies through EC, Mr. Trump purposely did not sign the agreement so he could later, if need be, publicly disavow any knowledge of the hush agreement and Mrs. Clifford. Trump was trying not to sign it because he didn't want to get in trouble, yet it still got him in trouble. Whether Trump need to sign this agreement is the major legal question here. According to the non-disclosure agreement attached to the lawsuit, there was a line for Didi, apparently Trump's alias, David Dennison, to sign it, but the line is blank. The NDA is signed by Daniels using her real name, an essential consultant, and Essential Consultants, the LLC. Donald Trump was getting his hump on with this woman, but he wanted to keep it on a hush-hush. He signed the agreement, and the thing is that he didn't want to fully sign the agreement because he didn't want his name on a document that could possibly ruin his chance of being elected. So he left it blank, and because he left it blank, it's null and void, and now she can get an opportunity to go run her mouth on Trump. Boy, boy, boy. I'm living the playboy. And he was married during this time, pushing the show. But now it's come time to the presidency and he wants to run. They try to use different tactics to shut her up. Even gave her money, thanks to Cohen. Gave her money now. Take this shit up. Shut it up. I don't want to hear it. She got the money. Yeah, she looked at the agreement. I got the money, but I still can talk. Because this fool never signed it. Let's see where this is going to go. And no, I'm going to fight every tooth and toenail I can to not research Miss Daniel on Pornhub. Robert Brown, Bob TV. Peace. I'm not going to do it. Hey, if you like the content and if you like this particular video, please like it, share it. Also, if you want to become a patron, you can click the link below and become a patron. I'm no Don Lemon, thank God. So again, like, share, subscribe to the channel. We're over 1,500. We're on the march to 5,000. Please click the subscribe button and hit the notification button so you can know exactly when I put a new video up. If you like the content, hit our Patreon account up. A few bucks to get a brother a cup of coffee, maybe a hot dog and a soda from 7-Eleven. You know.